Hey, just a second. You know, say for subscribe now free. Plenty people who they watch here, they know they subscribe because someone feel say for subscribe, they need for pay money. If you not be known for no now say for subscribe now free. But why for subscribe? If for subscribe for three main reasons. Number one, you go be the first person we go know whenever we come on live. Number two, you go be the first person we go know whenever we upload new video. And number three, you go be the first person for comments, like or share. And the last one for support we, so we go bring kind of content here regularly to you. So you see how it beneficial to you. So if you don't subscribe it, what you do it? I for subscribe to TPP Leo now. And before I forget, not forget for click the notification bell so you go get all the notification. Bam.
The program they look at exclusively on the saga, the issue, the suffering what we Sierra Leonean brothers and sisters they go through na Germany. Now we can get some of the videos with the happening, with the authorities and the do bottom, with the authorities and say what's the problem, and we'll can make some analysis. I'm not going to say when I listen, stay tuned here. When I get the opportunity for me to comment and when I can feel free for share this as well.
Talking point platform. For news every day now we countries alone. For education, entertainment, political affairs, TV. We got enough Tanga one inside Sierra Leone, like a big quantity. We breeze not a shit TV.
So family, today this is now one of the very difficult program then for Brinkham tuna. Why? Because we know how we brothers and sisters the challenges, the difficulty, the frustrations, the psychological trauma what they face. Now, as probably when I don't see most of the videos on social media, when I don't see from different places, from different people and from different media outlets, we have go come up at least for Brinkham this to Una. Now, we get a lot of Sierra Leoneans in Germany where they go seek asylum. We all know how they work abroad, especially in Europe. But again, among those people, we understand, say, then deny them. A lot of them, specifically around 1,000 people would reject the application because they don't meet the criteria according to some information what we get. So then people are now, they risk deportation, go to Asylum. But they're not just deport a person just like that. No, you get a process. And we'll come and try to analyze what we feel say the government would do. We'll come again try to analyze what we feel say as the people are within the same, within this current situation for do. But first, let me try to come up with 2-3 words, them 2-3 images from those people that where the thing affect, so that when I go know how we brothers and sisters then they do generally. Take a look at this gentleman where they make a plea to the government first.
We are a very peaceful citizen then. We are today for talk to the government of Sierra Leone. So we salute family and the government of Sierra Leone. We are a very peaceful citizen then. We are today for talk to the government of Sierra Leone. We want the government not say this step where they take, not a good step. We want the government not say today the people out there in Germany here, where the land book, then the land different work there, then the work, then the development has not in the goal, not to the in the left. 90% to 95% of we won't work today. All who benefit na salon in the go, na salon go for bill house. If I don't become a doctor, I don't become a good driver, I don't become a good carpenter, tomorrow na salon na go for go serve. So why we the government, why the government they come for to identify people and give out what they call emergency travel certificates? Through the thing and the way they share, the German government they able to deport anybody they want for deport. This is not a big problem. Now the thing is so one more understand. And they call on the government immediately for me them cancel this then travel certificates for me them cancel what them share to the German government for deport people and back home. And then I got more than 10 people or 12 people I want to take care of. That man land back gets more. How many people are they take care of? Una can't take we all. Una go sweep back home. The country in economy don't go down. So if una say we take people here for go them back home, what do they gain? Nothing. So man, the land work here, all the work they know the land. So man, the benefits they for go to salon. Everything what they do so now today. We get different people. Some man don't integrate, some man don't land work, some man left 6 months for getting paper, some man left 1 year, some man left some months, some man don't want picking here with different nationality. We don't get different we picking don't begin go school in here. Then we can't take people who picking them where we picking them, we go to back home. What's it that they pay the government the benefit from? Nothing. So they call on the salon government not for sharing the emergency travel certificate where they want for give out for deport people from Germany to Salon. It don't make sense. No help yourself. Now the government. Now they say yes. Now they say no. But now they rule the people. Una for nothing good for the people. Una no for can deprive people. So man don't sell all in property for kaya, for can take care of your family, for can brighter in future. Now una want for take me back home. It don't make no sense. We they appeal to the government. We they ask the government for let it withdraw. For let them waiting the one for do for give out travel certificate for deport people back. Do ya? This not a one man cry. This not everybody cry. This not Salomon cry. Before we see people and go suffer tomorrow, some man go turn thief man, some man go turn idler. Left then if you not get travel certificate, Germany not going to deport nobody. Without this travel certificate, without this identification, Germany not going to deport nobody. Would they make that they clear to now? What to wale the government do for we? What to wale salon people and tell the government say, may they withdraw the delegates the way they come for this identification. All the problem don't solve. May they not travel certificates. We and them people are now they live now for more than how many years. They know when they say then they take we back home. The office where they in charge for deport people and they send people a letter say, go identify yourself. The government don't send people for car identify you and deport you back home. And the letter this way, every salon man now we not get people don't receive. So they talk to the government, or they talk to salon people when I tell the government say, let them withdraw this way they want to do. Because the sufferation they put to the country. How many people there where they survive through that country there? Some man don't begin bills, some man don't begin do business. You know, so they call on the government. Please, when I thank you.
Family, that was a very strong plea from one of our brother in Germany, where they call on the government for make them pay more attention when it comes to them plea. I mean, this now we all cry. Now make us say this anyhow things tight here. We'll carry the same program here and let people and get opportunity to understand what did happen. Yeah, Mr. Ibrahim, welcome to the show. You can greet people with the listing you find right.
Good evening to listeners and welcome to another edition of TPP.
All right, thank you very much. So, family, that now one thing. Let me take again about another message where they come up from Sierra Leone. There is in one limit to talk small because we want to also get the voices of those people who really affected by the situation. And we will just do brief analysis. So now take a look at this other lady where they plead on behalf of the Sierra Leoneans and brothers and sisters that will suffer right now. Some man they don't sleep in the streets for more than 3 days now. And this is very terrible. Anyway, let's take a look. Let's take a listen to this again.
Alone. And this now message what they send to we leaders them when sit on a parliament. And this now message where they go to we president Mother Bureau. And this now message where they go to in wife the first lady Fatima Bureau. So we don't care so. The Kamo Kaya so not of us say we happy for left the country. Some of we government people and be don't pull and gone then give we turn to rebel at the age of 7-8 years. Now look the boys there. Now we don't grow so. One want to take example say now we this so we want to be say we are rebel and we not want to be rebel. Una force we, una put we, una give we gun, una give we cutlass for cut. People answer them, people foot them, for kill people So this message where they talk so, I get it from them people here. Not of us saying that me want to talk more. And maybe don't get them back. So if we can't be in this country, where we not get people there, they don't kill with people there, rebel them, we don't kill with people there. At the years, we will be small, now we don't be big so. And we government today, we know what's in the we country. It's not enough for we dey talk am. Pikin dem dey na street, boys dem dey na street. Dem dey beg, dem no get work, dem no get education. Some go don go na school. Me I no mind dey. For me, okay. Wetin I know now dey talk. Where are they going to turn self at the Sierra? Why is they in the street? Where they not get work? They not get nothing for do. Now beg them they pass on they thief. And videos that they pass back where people and they hang themselves up because of problems that where they in our country. We country not stable. Then again we don't count that calm day. We don't pass at the desert. Most of the country they don't die. They don't rape girls then at the desert. We the boys they back they rape we load na balloon boats. We come for can make we come for can make we life. If we don't come today for can make we life, they will pull delegation. Say now, this year, yes sir, the people that they will not send for the identification. And yesterday, we called some elders there. We called one big man when at the boss for the refugee Bavaria. Me what they talk to, and the others there. We talked to this man, this big man. For tell me exactly what they need this identification from these boys. The answer what they give me, they say people from we country, they send them people here that they fall. Then they are.
Okay, family and law we just cut them because it's a little bit long. Law we try for do the analysis here. First, we understand from the speakers and various speakers, the government sent delegation for go intervene on this issue. Unfortunately, some people say the government official they refuse even talk to the Sierra Leoneans face to face because the Sierra Leonean they request they want to see the people and the officials the way government send they need for talk to them. Asylum gets a different way how white man can analyze that, and particularly with somebody don't live in country, see not get documents, everything. I mean, we want come up with waiting government say one side, and because we see one press release where government we go can read an but let's just walk it through. Now we see we brothers and they blame the government right now, say if they deport there, now Salon government responsible. Now the request within the request now for let government of Salon just completely ignore according to waiting they want and they left them so. Then believes if they left them so then we will work themselves, then we will find a way out. But we know how they work behind closed door. I meet with one big man, one very an ambassador. I'm not gonna call his name because of privacy. You know, who explained to me there was a problem in the UK. According to this now personal previous conversation we get, a very big man na the country where we don't serve as a very important person in the UK. He said the Home Office meter they meets them say if they're willing for take 100 Sierra Leoneans, they were not documented. I think 100 of around like I don't even remember the figure, but it's substantial amount. Then we'll give them £200,000. Because now right here, the £200,000 to you is the areas in money. But then look at and say, if this person continues for 1 year, 2 years, 6 years, so it's possible, you understand? For the easy for me and get that money, they are allowed for let they return them people and they for them it cost effective. Whilst if that person continue voting at the country, the one thing the big man be tell me, he said, look at the situation, they look at the money fine. He said, if we're able to influence situation at that time with your colleagues, they take the 200,000, they issue a document for them, they return them, they return money there. But you look at those family them, the effect back home, he said they reject her. Now I know they say the German government so they do they meet they give money for not get people for that to not get any evidence. Say the German government give money to Asylum for me they issue emergency traveling certificates. I know they talk about that, but I know they rule that out because I know how we behave as the Leoneans. So these are now one of the things they happen. So in other words, before ever they even return you, even when you say you don't get, you fail your asylum, they still never get documentation. And I will just hold you because you say in Sierra Leone and put in a plane. So the people and they look at us, the government need for just ignore. But we know the strength of German. We know the strength. We talk about one of the most developed countries, if not the most, if not the developed country, one of the most developed countries in Europe. Behind closed doors, waiting. Perhaps Germany don't talk with Salon, with maybe sometimes gentleman talk or friendly fire. In other words, put some pressure, say on for take them. We happen in America where Donald Trump, like if they make it clear, if you not take his citizen, they ban you. You know they give you country, you know they get visa. You understand for kind of country. So you know in diplomacy there are different ways they would get you message across. And the European Union, they also be the type of put around 300 million euro for sensitized Africa. In other words, they're not only sensitized Africa about irregular migration, but also for curb the flow, the flow of illegal migration. So in as much as that message they go, again, they give money to governments and make them stop them people. And again, government gets more. You get money where they give again to government and we're willing for take or even issue a travel certificate to a citizens where they say come off, let's say come off from that country there. But we don't get situation of even in America where they deport some Jamaicans in, where they say then they claim say they're Sierra Leone, but these guys are not Sierra Leoneans. But because of the government, the ambassador, back there and identified them as Sierra Leoneans, and they end up kind of alone. It was like it's shocking for the guy. It be all over the news. But anyway, before we can deeply for analyze, what thing are you take where people and they blame the government or they ask the government? Generally, what you know about the asylum, the failed asylum? You feel say the possibility that they will return there in case governments not issue the emergency certificates. What's not you want to take?
A very good question. The asylum process, a very complex thing. You understand it? We people then can take the this journey and then can Europe. Them involve a lot of things we they need to understand. Like sometimes if you want to talk about them, someone will say that way you don't know what you understand. Like from the two videos that were you play, the one that be one young man we talk, you understand? Within talk, you not talk too much. We then look at legally, we like strong reason there. We for make them grant asylum. Probably now making asylum even fail. Because they know they give you asylum on economic grounds there. Say become a country hard, job not the this and that. Not to asylum need you for that anyway. But if you look the second speaker, he's more clever. When they make public statements. When they talk, it's right for bring points inside where the Geneva Convention covered. Yeah, under the 1951 or 1961 Convention for refugees. We will say they will only grant you asylum now with one country if they want persecution. So like where they relate to we have been rebel there, you understand it? So it is therefore link say, okay, if I go Salome, my life they are danger. if you get that kind reason that you're able to convince the German government that they make them give asylum. You understand? But if you say no more hardship, the job not no, that's not a reason. Your asylum get for fail. So sometimes like borders and can take the journey. One, now two things in there. One, you want to reach Europe. You understand? Then two, you get for claim asylum, and then we just say go claim asylum. But what you want to claim asylum, you get for know the reason there. The 5 key reasons then where the asylum cover. So if you not fall within that day, it'll become difficult, to be very honest. You know, the thing is hard, but if finally we give the right advice there.
Yeah.
Pay somebody they listen to. So you get forget a story, they fall within that Geneva Convention for refugees. If you don't fall there, they're not going to consider you for refugee status. So regardless to waiting Salon government for can do, they're not able to negotiate for the German government give you document refugee status. In fact, if you get good relationship with the Salon government, like with Salon government council, then proof say you get very good relationship with them. In fact, that's a good reason for letting not even give you documents because they just say your country safe for you for return. So you for always prove say I get big issue with the government and Salon. If I return, my life they at risk. You understand? But anytime when they show that collaboration between you and the government, say if I are in good terms, it never fail. At least we don't live a bit like Europe. We don't see people in cases. We don't experience some of the things. You understand? So they work that way. Like on the other basis where they talk about like government can sign for issue out like this traveling document anyway. Well, that I don't know usually how they deal with them because now there are two things and they to that again. One, we don't sign treaties that with any country there. We get like that diplomatic relationship. So we get for the collaborate in terms of economic, security issues, this and that. So on the grounds and they then able to put the government under pressure. At times people do not bribe them. You get yourself get your own part for play. And if you look what's in the government put out, the government put out say we of course me not support that because every country for every country traveling document and say a lot of Leonean passport in the out there another part me not support at all because they're not their own carelessness or they just say they're ineffective. Say people they not get past Sierra Leonean passport in a lot of people in possession then sign agreement for letting can identify them for letting know if then people are not Sierra Leoneans or not to Sierra Leoneans then can do. Okay, most times if you can't claim asylum now with one country, then your asylum don't fail. If you don't fail, whether government can give permit for let them go with you or not, it don't really fail. Probably you can do for 10, 20 years and pass, you'll be lucky before you walk out anyway. So if you look at alternative, because if your asylum don't fail, it don't actually end. They don't try for deport you, even if the government don't issue them document, and they stop all the benefit and they ask you for voluntarily left the country. If they're not able to forcefully remove you, now two ways they remove you. They forcefully remove you when they call deportation, or voluntarily you say put yourself forward, say, "Una go with me." If you not do them, if you're in a camp, they ask you for left the camp. If they give you small money, they keep you going, then get for cut off. So if they cut something off them from you, even if they become very hard for you.
Yeah.
So even if the government not collaborate, like where they go and talk to. So but if you did like where the other point is, if you didn't have the process for succeed, the government will influence and again. We need to understand that. Because if you get a genuine story, or whether not a story where you bring, whether a genuine or not, but if them believe say yes, you know somebody they run for persecution at your country. You they in need of protection na Germany. Nobody know they come, no Salon government know they come. I think they buy get like them kind. So they even come as a government can say, no, we'll give this somebody with the go-ta, we'll go persecutor. In fact, that they give strong reason why you they get asylum. You see, so if you don't have the process, then a good thing for you. Whether the government can sign, you they stand up for get anyway. And you will still continue for get the allowance where they give you. Then will still continue for give you accommodation. You will still continue for get your education. You will still continue for get what you get. But if your case don't fail, it will become very hard. Whether Salon government can collaborate for let them go to you, our Salon government will only collaborate and go to you because they will issue travel document. But even doing the process, waiting again we need for let them consider you. your application where they can for claim the asylum itself. The first criteria where they put inside, you get for identify which country you come on. So some of the asylum seekers and say where they demonstrate, they say don't come first. Probably they don't provide substantial documents for proof say then as Sierra Leoneans are already to the immigration officer. Because if you not provide that, they consider you. So man, okay, the only thing they not can get passports. So man, yeah, because then you will be advised not submit your passport. Then are traveling the because that are the tool where they use for deport you. Most of them can make deportation there. If there is no passport, it will become difficult for let them deport you. But already, when them be the claim, then they make sure say you for prove which country you come out. You forget enough evidence for proof to them. Say first, me na Sierra Leonean. Yes, if you don't get document for proof that they then get for question you, then get for ask you the history of your country, then get for ask you details about areas where you don't live, for let them create that link rate. And sometimes they will ask you if you get like driver's license. They're not able to deport you if you get driver's license. But that will prove say you are Sierra Leonean. Or you school where you attend, you school paper. So you already don't prove to them people that say you are Sierra Leonean. Not to them people are where they come for can't sign this document. The only thing they will able to sign now for them provide for you document where they because they don't able to travel nobody for deport you from abroad if you don't get passport or that let's say pass or so where they try for issue.
Yeah.
Yes. So now the only thing and the way the people then will but the whole case itself, the government don't get much for influence about, to be very honest. In fact, when you government there after you, it give you greater advantage for let your asylum succeed because that are the main thing we is about. So there's a lot to a very, very painful way people then don't left them come, but then get for be guided. Demonstration not get much for honestly change. To me, in my opinion, probably we even get into more trouble because if they demonstrate, in order for change the German government then position by them cases. You understand? Because when you can, they watch everybody in your case individually. Which story you can with? Then look your story. You life their threat or you don't want any danger, then consider on that basis they then grant you. Not on economic grounds. Say school no day, lights no day in our country, work no day. The Geneva Convention for Refugee not covered and they at all. Yes, now persecution. So if you that your story been based on the asylum, probably they fail. If you fail, you get for avoiding demonstration there. Let you know can commit again another crime. Because if you commit crime during them process here, then they charge you, you go court, then you go prison. In fact, that they mess you up more than the system. So the best advice me if I go advise you get for be careful. If you don't say your story don't they fail, look for another way out of her. If the government they try for go identify you, probably I go advise you, no go they let you go identify, say we will make it easy for you let them remove you, find another way, or probably you relocate to another country who say sometimes they will believe your story. So I will let you go there. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Let me just read government news before I walk you through Doc. Government of Salon say read the statement, the press release. The attention of Sierra Leone Embassy in Berlin has been drawn to some video clips making rounds on social media displaying protest of citizens in front of the Bavarian office in Munich. In that regard, the embassy would like to make the following clarifications. One, that there are several African migrants in Europe with Sierra Leone documents and therefore deemed Sierra Leoneans. Secondly, these migrants are misrepresenting Sierra Leone in several ways. Recently, a West African was charged with drugs-related offenses and was tagged Sierra Leonean. Investigation later revealed that he is not a Sierra Leonean. Third, both governments agreed on an identification mission to Germany. The purpose was to identify the origin of these African migrants deemed to be Sierra Leoneans and ultimately their nationalities. Preliminary reports from the team of experts from Freetown indicate 70% of those migrants, especially those in detention, are not Sierra Leoneans. The role of the team of experts in Munich has been misconducted by social media commentators, but the embassy considered the verification exercise as invaluable to our love to our beloved country and for our innocent Sierra Leoneans living in Germany. At the end of the exercise, the verification team will report to the government of Sierra Leone. End of the press release. So, Fambule, let's take step first. Now, walk you through, Doc. First, government say the reason we make them take part because people and the purports for saying as Sierra Leoneans. And you and I know, see, Asylum passports one of the cheapest thing for getting at the world. I mean, how complicit is government in even damaging with repetition? Now that they talk about building our integrity, our respect as a nation, what's now you take based on this press release? You can comment on any of those issues with about them presence one trying to identify and some kind of any other thing we are there. Okay, family, it seems as if Doc gets some breakup. Okay, so this the thing is, Naramik, we always they talk about the respect. Okay, let's take this one text quickly. This one they come from Hassan Kanu. Returning these people will be one big mistake for the administration. All right, Hassan, of course, you know from Mr. Kamara, we make it clear, say the government of Salon technically they not get no power for deport or even for talk on behalf of anybody who they under. No. The job is now bilateral, sort of like a diplomatic union, a diplomatic communication that they go through. And we know, say, Europe now one of the countries that supports Africa. I mean, Salon in specific, to be more specific. So there are times if the master will they feed you, one for let you do for a small team, when it takes in a small team, it's difficult for say another do. So government technically they're willing for do the identification. That make they even send experts there inside Germany right now where they go do the verification. But the point is how the people there were not to Sierra Leoneans. According to the press release, 70% of those people are not Sierra Leoneans. And how did those people got Sierra Leone passports in the first place? How? I mean, this for national security is dangerous because if we passport can so cheap, over 1,000 people and 70% of them are not Sierra Leoneans, and that 700 of them they are not. How do these people get Sierra Leone passport? I'll walk you through. Yes, Doc, you go offline.
Technical reach. Did you get me?
Yeah, will get you.
Yeah. Far go for. I will just want to see.
You break up. You break up.
I break up.
Yes.
For
You still a breakup. Okay, once you try for setup. So, family, this now the thing. This now a difficult situation. A difficult for Sierra Leone government now in the sense like me don't know the good name. I don't know the good face so them go and put on one first. Then don't be so careless enough for left your national document out there. And this pattern is cheap, easy. It come on a salon where you go to the salon as a foreigner. You say you want salon passport, you ready for pay the money. In no time, maybe 1 to 3 days, you don't get that. Even salon man with them born for let get passports is difficult. But if it's salon, I mean, if you're a foreigner going to salon, this is dangerous because now we say we want to protect the government want to protect the Sierra Leoneans, but how in the first place they allow short massive amount of data for expose? How that's happened for us in the first place? That they make really talk about the general blankets of corruption at the country. They're extremely dangerous, and this is not good for we all. And it comes to the area of asylum seekers. I mean, first, when you don't get documents now, any country, your life there are tricks. And besides, you also there at any time you're liable for you subjected to. I mean, if you commit crime, you will deport. In fact, even if you get document, there are certain crimes where then go fit. I mean, deport you. But now look at, yes, though you want at, yeah, you can sign up based on,
Yeah, I hope this sound okay now.
yeah, better now.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, just one first thing first, what I want to say, as the press release say, obviously, no, see all them people and in Germany, just they use Sierra Leone passport, not to Sierra Leonean. So at least, according to the government press release, at least 30% they win a legitimate Sierra Leoneans, them we get whatever concern we all come abroad. So let's do justice to them first. But we all know the knowledge about that first knowledge them way. I mean, if you meet them at airport and other places, we don't the pop passport. And to be honest, this they go back even to a decade. You understand? Because salon problem, let's be honest, now perennial problem. We get a year in year out, year in year out, year in year out. You understand? Successive immigration officials them not able to fix this thing. Whether now they enjoy the money making of selling our passport or whatever, but sometimes even the common sense, because this now law saying a civil service this year, you go get government and other things and politicians or what have you. I mean, civil, this is not civil service, you know. This is just to show back how corruption endemic now we country, you understand, for Lewy passport scatter all over the place, Fantari, that over 70% of the purported asylum seekers in Germany so far, not be Sierra Leonean. I mean, it's pathetic because at the end of the day, the innocent Sierra Leoneans, they don't become disadvantaged. If you come now, you get your own legitimate reason we make you one day Germany. But if another person way not to Sierra Leone and they use your passport and do whatever things and give salon whatever bad name, at least you know they go well for Sierra Leonean. So I believe say one of the step way the immigration, whoever the head immigration now, or even the internal affairs ministry get for do now for see how we get stringent measures them for let you get passport not for easy. Even you them born na saloon, you them born. I not say for go take 10 months for let you get our waiting, you know, but systems then they will, you know, they will beat the system. If them born in 1995, now 1995 they did it, not to 1990. You know, things there, hey, if you're not eligible for getter, you know the getter. You understand? I believe it's a system, then they're not to magic. Other countries they do have. A job we say we own the salon and not just willing. They didn't look them big. No, you cannot do them. You understand? So that now one, but I just believe say the embassy na Berlin, na Germany they or the Sierra Leone government also as a whole self get a responsibility for make sure say then guard and protect the image of Sierra Leoneans. So then just get for cooperate with the German government because you can't be reluctant, you understand? Because even people let's assume now say if even people can seek refuge or something as alone. If we send a serious country, we self go and vouch the kind of people the way they come, then the case and all that thing. So and like Pakanmobi no say Salon get treaties with some of them countries. There are the Geneva Conventions and other things that you work with other countries there on a collaborate. You just can't even say no, we not accept anybody, you know. For with people out there, it seems like Salon government for just ignore. We say na immigrants and them place here, you understand? We know the constraints that we all want. I mean, like sometimes you just get for face the reality, you understand? Yeah. Sometimes they can say the hands are tied now, like Salon government, you understand? The hands are tied and treated and they don't sign. And then if they to Sierra Leone, you understand? One of the disadvantages then there will be bigger country there. You understand? Yeah. When you pay master then tell whatever things waiting they want, it just get for be, but I believe say mother advice with brothers and sisters, then we did stay away from the protest. If you document, then can say no go put how you call it, Saul by use of foot by the penda. No go fem more no go trouble until the trouble go trouble you. Stay away and find way how you be able to address whatever concern. You understand? You engage with other people, I mean, whatever issues or concern, waiting be the situation that you able to solve and with. I mean, protest, if them people are the immigration officials them or them country don't take certain laws them, I mean, Salon 50, 100%, I don't think say the protest go change that much. You understand? But I hope and pray say the people that we get, I mean, legitimate concerns we don't they for a long time, maybe don't begin to get family and other things when are legitimate Sierra Leoneans they also, I mean, able to get the case pass across, because we all know say back Salon not an option sometimes. I know I mean not to see what kill for talk, because me as somebody who always believe say home is home and we get so much more for good home. But as I say now the reality again, I mean not to an option for just go like that way. Not to out of your evolution. If you decide you don't save something, you get your plan, then it's okay. But then just put in a plain bundle like that, and they will almost say, I mean, not to an option. So, I mean, we will keep them in with prayers and hope say the cases across, and we hope say the government will do the needful with regards to the passport issue. So the passport not go there all over the place. Fantari. And also, I mean, then go able make sure say the people that we know to Sierra Leoneans, them they able to find also the root cause of how they get with passport.
All right, thank you very much. So, Fambula, we go continue for bring come to now the development, because this now unfolding, the situation just unfold, and I think Komon-Tok say it all. We brought our advice. Because we see one clip where they go around. I know I'm call that guy the name, all Sabian, where me no king just like for calling name, where they talk about beat officials. Because one of the reasons we make the officials where government say no go talk to the people, they not go in facially because of the threats. They said then the afraid. Because this guy now Holland will all know, you understand, I don't get problem with that anyway. Because me not just like for popularize certain thing. Now me on just, I mean, like he was like actually making some statements where they say we go send message, we go beat. You understand? I know they even playing clip here, because I know I let be like so they promote violence. We get we own level. That make we own small corner out there. We know they do one for political party. We know they do one for regional. We they do one genuinely for country. Now that make we feel say with the unrespect. Because at the end of the day, when you look other media houses and they all take side, they blame the government right and say the government responsible. But not be all in a certain time. You then a government issue. You get for, I mean, who budget a large chunk of the budget of Salon. Now they're not driven. Now so they get this money now abroad. Now the points where them guy them they put so now Komon-Tok analyze so. They know they just give paper just because you say you get economic problem, things they are this, that. They know they consider that. There are steps that criteria away from it now law. And white man and the institution they work. Say what you made and they work. If they don't make a decision saying they deport you, paddy, I mean, it's just a matter of time. You're going. We don't wish that now the time for talk. We don't wish that. So we want to bother there refrain from this problem. I mean, if you go protest, maybe sometimes the protest, just like the way that guy they say, we get for send message by beating people, because I listen some of the interview would say for beat officials there. If the German authority catch you, you know, person force you know, a fail asylum seeker, don't then super violence can give you the beats.
Then you go assault somebody. You get prison sentence for that way you want already. Now you okay. They not go just deport you. They want and then deport you after. Because some crimes and the way they commit in Europe, look like LJ incident being commit crime. Even when not being here, what they do? Then they charge you for the crime. If you beat somebody in assault anyway, they charge you for assault, you go court, then try you, then find you guilty, you won the sentence. Immigration, then put it aside. With the sentence on, then stick again, then deport you. So that not the help. Now that I can say some of the people they will advise and like some like that boy we call him. Now some of them they deceive them young man and they into certain things and they if maybe get me border among them people and they or my cousin the women to the talk, I go advise and say, no, listen to that man. You understand? Probably him be don't succeed with your own story. Uncomfortable idea. If you want to succeed, not to violence. Not to the things in the one thing the way with people they do per asylum. Because they no one like infringe your right, they allow you where you come at any point na wait na Europe at any entry point or na any location where you declare say you claim asylum, they accept them. They allow you for say you don't seek them because they no one infringe on human right. Then they give you the opportunity for come interview. So they not follow, and during that period they all go attest to this. Then where go they look? They give accommodation. Then go give you money. They will give you access to healthcare. They treat you very nice. Then they give you the opportunity. If you don't get money for hire lawyer, they give you free immigration lawyer back for let you know say you process. You not being fair because you not be able to afford immigration lawyer. They give you free what they call legal aid. Then they pay the lawyers. And you they choose any immigration lawyer. Then pay them back. Then you and the lawyer can then guide you. Then you couch your story. You explain your story. Then you provide your evidence there. Then they look your story. Then look your evidence there. When it don't done, then they make decision. They not believe your story. This is story in a lie. Or you reason the way they ask for let them give you a refugee status now Europe. They not fall under the Geneva Convention for refugee. So you not qualify. For example, if you say that because likes not this alone, it does not fall under it. They're not going for consider and if you say because work not this, then they consider and then they go give they give the right for appeal. You see how it's people they wait and call it. When they give the right for appeal, that you challenge the decision, you go again at court. When an independent judge they go look that case, the immigration then they differently. You say they go with you lawyer, they go represent you. When I argue before the judge. Then the judge they independently look that case back, he make decisions. Some people they don't win their own immigration case in a court. You understand? If you're not able to win there, then they give you another opportunity to say, let you appeal to the upper court. So they give all the appeal process. When your appeal don't done, your case don't done, trust me, when you don't reach that level, nobody able to save you now. You know, that Sunday we'll get for explaining to let people understand. The German government, they know they just can because you can, whether you lie or not, they don't care. They give all these opportunities. Some man doing that process, they forget. Because then they don't can, they accept them in a country, then put them in a camp, they give them small token for it, because they don't want to let you angry. They don't want to let you die. So you get right to it. So you just say it don't work. And it depends on how you story it. Why is it they investigate your story, they look into it? You get all them privilege there. Now that is so man, you for smart, you for know to do that money. You for know which story they present to them. You for know how you deal with that. When the story done, nobody know the way they blame. So now the option then get now for remove you in the country. Or if they're not able, like even like this, because some country they did one, then we can then deny all the citizens there for let them not able issue document to you for let them deport you. But then just that the government will able to do. It will deny when I say this they all to Sierra Leonean like when they don't cancel, then demonstration will put that pressure there. Where these Salon people they can't identify them, then deny them all. Say these are all, even when they talk, we look at dialects there, you understand it, but not to Sierra Leoneans. Now they stop, then they left you give the German government. What did the German government do? You know, still qualify you for letting still give documents. In fact, like what you know from like the UK, they grab you at the camp you did, so you don't get no accommodation. They block you health service so you get. They block the small money you get. Then at the time, they like question man they explain you, they become homeless. Now they're not sorry for you anymore. As far as they're concerned, they not violate any human right. Then give you all, they tell you been qualified under the process, then you put you in a camp, then give you money. But when you write something down and they don't say go now in the country, you don't go, not to them business anymore within a street. You understand? So that some of them tell you that demonstration say where the official like you go beat say in that you're worst in the situation. And you do any serious demonstration, no, they change the immigration people their mind because not to demonstration they make them sorry for you. Now your story where they show say you they run part, you like the story small. If they believe that you convince and say, bruh, if me go back Salon government, then they jail me, then go beat me, then go kill me. or you if you talk say now a particular society they want force you into where you're not willing for go, and the state will protect you. You understand? Or you belong to a particular social group where that social group the government able protect you now. Then go look anything in there. You understand? So now like me, I will just put a for that list. You take some of the advice and you they look details on. We all experience anything there. I mean, what you talk about because we live abroad. We one way or the other. There are two. I can be first advice so I can always get anybody. So there are two stages in there for come abroad. One, now very simple, but we don't understand that that's Sierra Leoneans and CC. It's very difficult. Then I waiting for reach abroad. Now the simplest parts than they are abroad. Where in fact where would they see very difficult. When you for let you just reach you, someone as you reach, I mean like they told me at the streets in Germany. Ah, okay, now in America. In fact, they don't know say that they ain't easy part overseas. Because after they don't throw you at the streets, when at the easiest part you don't cost now, the most difficult now that for let you get the document in 10 times difficult than when you reach. Then I ain't so then young people had to go through, but some of them maybe simple have them may forget. When they be at the luxury, then at the camp, they get small 200-300 euro every month, where they be the support, and then your PC that be the end of the journey. They don't know say the story go down at some point where if they not believe your story, they not plan for that day, you know. And when you don't plan for that, when your story done, now they kick you out of the system, the life now Europe they become very hard for you. Not to government would they blame that point. They blame they blame government and they don't care several times because I think it make people they take their journey then we understand. Now job not the health system fix opportunities and all the hardship and they 100% are government fault and they 100% are government they force people then for take the journey. But when you don't dey inside for let them remove you or whatever they happen, I think government get really less for do about that. Than the hard truth.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, Doc, waiting will be you additional point on this because we know say this issue still there. We'll come back and bring more information to people.
Yeah, I think say Pakagmo have said it all. I mean, I just hope say we brothers and sisters them with the listen then to the advice.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, today we brought on school we brought really if you was an immigration lawyer, the way you analyze for we well, you know, don't learn a lot. We hope brothers and sisters and self will watch the program. Then say go learn and pass this message. We're not there for condemn them. We're not condemn the government. We're not condemn. We just try to put out things it is. You know, they say call it spade a spade. That number. So hopefully we'll come back again. We'll continue this program. So until then, my name is Mohamed Kagbo. Bye bye.
Talking point platform for news every day. Now we can't see alone for education.